Who would have thought that we'd be here? Wow. So, according to Shams from The Athletic, I'm sure everyone knows, the report is that the Philadelphia 76ers and Brooklyn Nets are engaging in discussions surrounding trading Ben Simmons for James Harden. Wow. Wow. First of all, I just want to make it clear for everyone, we're not getting to James Harden young. We're not getting, this isn't the first time when Daryl Morey got James Harden from an Oklahoma City team. And it isn't quite James Harden that the Nets thought they were going to get from the Houston Rockets. Harden is averaging career lows in everything. Points, field goal percentage, 3-point percentage. I'm sure the assists are up there as are his rebounds, but just his overall offensive production is not there compared to what it was in the past. So, I bring that up to say this. When everyone talked about, there was a report that came from our own Kyle Neubeck, which basically said everyone would be on the table. I want to say that isn't quite how it's going to go. The Nets are going to act for certain pieces, a.k.a. Tyrese Maxey. They'll try, but I don't think they have that leverage. Harden is 33, and he has an abdomen injury. He has missed games, and there's rules, unspoken and somewhat spoken rules from a general manager perspective. And those rules are, if you're going to trade young for old, you better be one piece away. And I don't think you're one piece away even with this move. I think there are some things they're going to have to add. Or that you're able to really bridge the gap. In other words, you don't want to be in a situation where you have to rebuild in 2 years. And that's kind of the big risk. You make a move and it doesn't work out and then you have to rebuild. What Tyrese Maxey represents to this organization, and I made a video before just on his on-court value, but now we're going to talk about salary cap. There are numerous resources, Larry Kuhn, etc., Hoops Hype. But the Sixers salary cap is a mess, and it's going to be a mess for the next 4 seasons. Thank you, Tobias Harris. The Sixers should operate as though money is going to be futile. And what does that mean? That means you want players on short contracts, and it means that your bird rights are going to be more indispensable now than ever before. Guess what? Tyrese Maxey fits both of those things. That's why I've been adamant that this is not going to happen. This meaning that Tyrese Maxey is going to be moving. It's not going to happen. It would literally be financial suicide for the Sixers organization to say, oh, hey, this starter that's only making $2 million, yeah, let's move him in a James Harden deal. That's not going to happen. The Nets are going to actually going to try, but I don't think that's going to go down. Like, we have to think about it from this perspective, too. We have always talked about Ben Simmons being this rebounder, facilitator, multi-time all-star, defensive player runner. Now, you know me, and you know how I'm still saying it. A lot of this is a bunch of hogwash, but that hogwash makes it easy to sell the Nets fans and the other people, and it makes it so that the trade value, especially with James Harden, again, career lows, and that's why I started the video off with that. The career lows make it so that Ben Simmons for James Harden is actually closer in value than it would have been if James Harden was 8 years younger. And I think Daryl Morey understands that. So what, among the package of players that the Sixers would be quote-unquote open to, what is really going to go down? I think you're going to see Ben Simmons, Seth Curry, possibly and or Matisse Thybulle, along with a couple picks, pick swaps, etc. Now, I'm perfectly fine with that. Now, let's discuss the Matisse Thybulle thing in the room. And the reason why I take this report credibly is that it came from The Athletic, and we are now talking hypothetical deal GMs are talking, not, a random thing that's not clarified. We are now speaking factually on the matter. The reason why I personally would deal Matisse Thybulle over Tyrese Maxey, to say nothing of Tyrese Maxey's all-star potential, is the simple fact that Matisse Thybulle is a role player. Sixer fans have forgotten this. Matisse Thybulle is a role player. He's not even a consistent B&D. He's more like a D that can occasionally hit a three-pointer. Matisse Thybulle is the definition of replaceable. You can replace him. Seriously. And I know why this might be even more alarming because it's James Harden defensively. I'll say this. Tyrese Maxey has become a pretty good on-ball defender. And I think that with James Harden here, you can put James Harden off the ball. Because where Maxey struggles is off-ball stuff. But Harden, he's more off-ball. He'll swipe, post defense. But he's not an on-ball defender. That would be Maxey. Maxey can do that for you. I think on the right team and the right scheme, the way you hide Harden, you can kind of get away with that. But also, just the fact that, again, you'll probably maybe keep Danny Green, and Danny Green can spell you some minutes as small forward. And you never know who gets cut, buyouts, etc. You know, the Sixers would, at this point, be in that P.J. Tucker type of situation. It will hurt losing a player that you drafted. Although, again, I have a second-round grade on Matisse Thybulle. He played as well as he could play. But, again, he's replaceable, and it's James Harden. Even if it's career low and everything offense, James Harden, it's still James Harden. So, Matisse, you go. Seth, you go. Ben, we already wanted you going. Picks, pick swaps, etc. The other positive thing about James Harden is going to be this. Seth Curry, love you, but you can't rebound the ball. Danny Green can't rebound the ball. Matisse Thybulle can't rebound the ball. James Harden has always been one of the better rebounding guards over the last 6 years. So he's going to rebound the ball, he's going to get in transition, he's going to push you up, just like Ben Simmons would. But can I just say something here real quick, too, is that thank heavens that Tyrese Maxey incorporated a corner three-point shot. We should forever be in debt with George Hill for teaching Tyrese Maxey how to hit a corner three ball. Because guess what's going to happen with James Harden drive and kick game? You're going to have three-point open shots for Tyrese Maxey like nothing you've ever seen before. Everyone's always wanted Tyrese Maxey, increase your three-point volume, increase your three-point volume. Well, with a player like James Harden dishing it out, that three-point volume on the corners, or maybe even drive, penetrate, you swing it back out to the top of the key. I think a lot of open three-pointers are going to be there for Tyrese Maxey. And now, with the way the offense is going to be and what his role is going to be, he's going to have to cash in a lot of open three-pointers. So that part of his game is probably going to open up. What I would like to also see is that if you're going to run James Harden pick-and-roll offense, it shouldn't just be James Harden pick-and-roll offense. Now, it's James Harden, like I said, career lows everywhere, even spot shooting, but maybe playing with Embiid and playing with Harden, Maxey, that you're able to get some of those spot-up shots for James Harden. Maybe he'll knock them down at a better clip in a Philadelphia uniform. Because I would just like to see Tyrese Maxey be able to share some of these things. Obviously, some people will probably wonder what's going to happen now with Tobias, because that contract is completely unmovable. I would put him on the bench for George Niang. I already know Doc Rivers won't do that. His spot-up three-point shooting this month has been, or really last month, has been super on point. So, can Tobias do this? The first time we tried this, when we first acquired him with Jimmy Butler, Tobias Harris just fell apart. But if Tobias Harris can get himself right consistently from long range, he could play this role of spread the floor, stand in the corner, and especially now you better make your quick decision because it's James Harden. You're taking a touch away from Harden. Like, I hope Doc understands that when you say every shot you take takes away a shot from somebody, Tyrese Maxey's shooting 46% from the field. I think even with this last good month from Tobias Harris, I still think it's like 44%. So on the year, Tobias Harris has been shooting worse than Tyrese Maxey. My whole point here is that it's Tobias Harris who should be thinking, if I dribble the ball for 6 seconds, if I do the Tobias Harris low post fake Carmelo Anthony mid-range, that's taking something away from Harden, it's taking away from Embiid, it's taking away from Maxey. I'm going to change this. It's Tobias Harris who I need to be thinking more in the flow of the offense. It's Tobias Harris who needs to be more of a team player. And if you can't, move Tobias Harris to the bench. You need bench scoring anyway, and put George Niang in the starting lineup. That is all. You need a spread power forward, and if it's not Tobias Harris, it's definitely George Niang. When you acquire Harden. Like, enough. Enough of Tobias Harris. Low post of death. Or rather, ball stopping of death. I hate when the ball stops with Tobias Harris. I'd rather have the ball stop with James Harden. Any day of the week. So, what does this mean for Joel Embiid? Let's talk about that. Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid have been running a great pick-and-roll game. I hope that with the acquisition of Harden also, our pick-and-roll rate naturally increases. Because Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid is running a killer two-man game. I think Harden and Embiid can also run that same two-man game. And I want to see Embiid do more Drummond-type stuff. Rolling off of a pick-and-roll, popping off of a pick-and-roll, being more of an off-ball scorer now that you're going to have two elite ball handlers in James Harden and Tyrese Maxey sharing the floor together. I need Joel Embiid to even more embrace being a big man in the traditional sense. Now, because Joel Embiid is special, he should still get his own touches. And quite frankly, like I said, run pick him over everybody. Joel Embiid is such a good ball handler. I've never understood why not run a pick and roll with Tobias Harris and have Joel Embiid run that action. Tobias Harris is 6'9", have him screen for Joel. These are the kind of offensive creativities I would like to see. But yeah, we'll see how that two-man game unfolds. But one of the things also that you all wanted Maxey staggering. Now you could stagger Tyrese Maxey with James Harden. Now staggering is a real thing. So the bench should be more consistent. In closing, obviously nothing is official until it gets done. But I will say this. With the reports, with the injuries, the struggling, the random sitting out against Utah, I'm putting this at 85%. I think this gets done. There's been way too much smoke, and I think the Nets are ready to kind of move on and kind of retool themselves. This is going to be a wild week with a potentially big wild conclusion. Six of the Universe signing off. Holy shit! Harden!